last I remember leaving off on the bumper lighting was a couple days before Music City Showdown, or I think it was like 4 or 5 days. There was enough days where if the seller had responded in a timely manner, which they did not, they could have got me a new one from Music City, but oh well. We are now back from Music City. I have finally gone back and forth with them enough. They originally tried to just offer me 15 bucks back, like that was somehow going to solve the whole light bar not working. But I finally told them, I was like, this is ridiculous. I paid for a working light bar and you sent me a broken one. Just send me a new one. They finally broke down and did so. That is right here. So before I go taking this one out of its spot, they actually made me send them. I'll see if you can see it there. Let me grab it. They made me cut the connector off and send them a picture. So, since the wire harness still ran right there, I'm going to hook it back up to power and ground. And then I'm going to plug this light in and make sure it actually functions correctly before I take this one out. Because at the moment, the non-working light at least fills the hole and looks cool while it sits there. And the truck is not going to be in the show tomorrow, but because I missed the deadline. But it is going to be parked in handicap right by the front door of the show. So if we can at least get this one swapped out so it can glow red with the halos while it's parked there, then that'll be all good for me today. And then after the show tomorrow afternoon, I can go about getting these hooked up. This one right here has its own wire harness, not too big a deal there. These cubes that came with the light bar, the harness only has this one plug, that gray one there, which goes to the light bar. So in order to hook those cubes up to the light bar switch there, I'm going to have to cut and splice wires, which is not a big deal. But it does take more time, and it's a little bit more of an involved project than I'm trying to get into today. Because all we have to do to hook this light bar up is power and ground ring terminals on the battery, the 2 bolts that mount it to the bumper, and plugging it into its main connector. I forgot to film testing it, but it does work, so I've gone ahead and pulled it off. Now we got to get the mounting brackets on it and slap the new one on. These here are the mounting brackets in question. Those studs go right through that hole, and then there's a nut and a washer on the back of each of those. There you have it. I don't recall if I ever got it on video, but the original one, there was a light right there that would be a different color than everything else. That one there would go completely dark, and then this one up here would also intermittently go completely dark. But it seems we are at full function now. The wire, there's not a lot to hide. Not a lot of places to hide it on here. So for now, it's just zip tied right there. But when we get those ones hooked up for the cubes tomorrow, I will come up with a better solution on how to make that nice and tidy back there. But I'll flip it on white and let you see that real quick. And there it is on the bright white function. It is the middle of the day, so it's not too exciting at the moment, but at night that is definitely going to put out quite a bit of light. Top that with those 2 cubes, the 2 on the other side, and then our Morimoto HIDs. She's going to be... It has been a good month and a half, 2 months since the last clip. because I have wasted so much time trying to hook this garbage up and make it work. And the people that sold it to me wanted to troubleshoot this and troubleshoot that and blah, blah, blah. That happened before I even had the chance to plug them in. My problem was I didn't buy directly from Auxbeam, so the harness and all that they sent me was garbage, and they never wanted to make it right. If I had bought from Auxbeam specifically, they would have fixed the situation. But they didn't, so my bad. Now, I have these 4 lights that I have 110% confirmed to work, so I am now going to get those mounted up and finally get this bumper properly lit up. This side is fully done and mounted. Looking nice. I am now going to knock out the other side real quick before the rainstorm. And then tomorrow afternoon, we can get to doing some wiring. And there, the passenger side is fully mounted. It is already starting to rain on me, so I went ahead and just zip tied the wires there so we can make it to the show tomorrow. And then after, we will resume wiring. It is now time to get the wire harness for the cubes installed and wrap this one up. In total, I have been filming this video for almost 6 months now. So, it'd be nice to have everything actually working today. Before we throw it in here, we'll go over our wire harness. The first thing I noticed is for our situation here, it is very oddly proportioned lengthwise. So these 2 long leads over here are what goes to the cubes on each side of the bumper. And since it divides in the middle there, then our driver lead right here is going to be super long compared to that one. So that'll be interesting. Then it goes over here. We got our power and our ground to the battery. That's a fuse. That there's going to be a relay, which goes over into that plug, which just meets up with that plug right there, so that it can go into the firewall. You can't see in the shade here. Maybe. There we go. That's the switch that goes into the cab. Now, since that fat thing is obviously not going to fit in there, or all of those wires, I'm going to take this connector, depin it, pull those out. We will stick that through, and then just repin it once it's through the firewall. And then that wire there is going to end up excessively long. So I will just get to it, and we will see what happens. Now we got the whole dash piece off here. Little brother and his long arms are trying to fish our switch wire through the firewall. And given the way the wires are set up, it has to go through the cab side. There's no way for all of that to fit through, because there's more wires on this side. There's that big fat switch. There's all those wires there versus just that end attached to the flathead there. So once we get this done, we will be home free. You gotta say when.
I'm going.
So we finally got our wires through the firewall here, and we had to pull our connector off, depin it. You'll come in here. There are little tabs on the connectors. If you push those down with a paper clip, then you can back them out. And then once you get it on this side, you just put it back in. And I took a picture of how these went in before I took it apart. So I'll have to look at that, but that's how it's done. And just like that, our connector is now nice and secure, so it can go right there. And while I'm still up here, we're going to do a rundown of our wiring. We got our fuse and relay tucked down, hanging out in there. This, oh, I can't see. That's our ground wire. This here is our power wire. Let me go over here. That is the lead with that white connector bundled up there, going into the switch in the cab. And the rest of our wires down to the cubes are snaked down in there, coming out down there, which we will now take care of. I just clicked the on button on our switch there, and it is lit up blue. Got the power hooked up out here. I haven't fully tidied everything up with zip ties yet, just want to make sure. We're gonna see it work. Nice. Very nice. Let's go check this side. Boom. Also works. Can you go hit the on-off button a couple times so we can see the different modes, please? There's like 5 of them. I'll tell you when to stop. Again? Alrighty. Oh, that's my favorite mode, the amber flashing. Again? Oh, hold on. That is odd. Okay, so for some reason, flash warning, that orange LED is lit up while the white is flashing, but none of the rest is. Okay, do it again. Okay, that's white and orange. And white and orange. Alright, so I will take it. I don't ever plan... Oh, I'll fall over here. Oh, you can go ahead and turn them off. I don't ever plan on running them in just the flashing white mode, so I don't really care about that little malfunction. If I do flashing, it'll be white and orange, or just orange, or I will run them as the ambers for running lights during like inclement weather and whatnot. And the show factor. That's really the only reason I got them, was so they flash amber at shows. Now I'm going to take the zip ties, get this nice and cleaned up, secure that wire as well, throw the dash back together, the footboard in, and we will be all good. Well, barely got the zip ties on, couldn't even get the dash back together, and I was going to put something on Instagram, and they're already messing up. Every single mode now, 3 work and 1 does not. This is insanely irritating. So I unhooked the battery and put it back on, and they have sorted themselves out. I guess we just flicked through the modes too quick on the switch, and it confused it, but they're all good again. I got the whole dash panel back, and that is where our switch is going to hang out. It is nice and sturdy, doesn't jiggle around, even though it doesn't look too professional. That circle one to the left, that's going to be our light bar. Our toggle one there is going to be our trans fan, and then that one over there is going to be our rock lights. And I was going to make another solution for them, but they just conveniently sit there, and so I've let them do that. Now, the only kind of downside to that is with the small lever there, you can no longer adjust the steering wheel angle to go up and down because the big fat switch is taking up all the room right there. But I drive with it in the all the way up position, so no worries for me. I'm also just noticing that that blue light stays on all the time. Now, I doubt that tiny little light would ever drain the batteries, or at least it would take a very long time to do so. Far longer than I would ever let the truck sit. But I will have to keep an eye on that. Make sure it doesn't drain anything it shouldn't. Now we'll do a quick recap on our wiring out here. We have an all-right tape job there. Super hard to get my hands in there. That wire runs down under there and over to right there, where that bundle of wire meets in with our light bar wire. And while that is all secure, weatherproof, not like an issue, it is not like the prettiest thing ever. So I don't know what I'm going to do with wire loom or anything in that area, but I am pretty for sure that I'm not just going to leave it like this. It is functional. It'll do for now, but stay tuned for revisiting that. Then again, up top, we got our ground, our relay and our fuse tucked down here, our power just on the other side of there, and then this, that bundle, and that white connector are what go into the switch in the cab, and that connector to the switch is just barely long enough. And that'll about do it for that one. 5-6 months later, I finally have a bumper full of working lights, so I'm going to go out and film some B-roll, and you guys can enjoy them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't, and I will see you next video. Oh, now they're fucked up again. Yep, one cube is orange. Flip them off again. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. God, now they're really fucking confused. So this is the problem with all of these light setups. They all start getting messed up. Do it again. Keep going. Nope. 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 Alright, do I really have to pull the battery cables on them again? Like every time this happens again? Yep, they're off. They're just not going to work again.
I have been very patient with them this time.
Okay, they just fixed themselves. Do it again. Okay, that's both white and orange. Again. 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 Off one more time. Okay, now this is the shot we were trying to get. I'm going to turn the cubes on. We're going to turn the cubes on. No, they're fucked up, but you're kidding me. They just cycled all the way through and then we do it again and they're messed up. Ugh. Just leave them off for a second. We're going to count to 45 and then come back. Okay, so it seems if you play with them too much, they get confused. But now they're all the same. So now we should change it again. They should be all white. Boom, just like we wanted. All right, give us that light bar. All right, that's what I was looking for. Hold on, let me go over here. I got a gimbal so I can kind of like walk with this thing as long as I don't trip and the video doesn't look super terrible. Keep going a little bit farther, a little bit farther. Now, it's not very dark, obviously, but there's our current light output. Not too bad. Hopefully I'm in the shot there. No, that's down the other way. Oh, you can see over there, can't you?
Yeah. So
Oh,
like,
wrong way.
everything except for your chin is in there, but you'll have, if you want everything in, you gotta hold it farther away somehow.
Fuck.
And it's just like, it won't stop turning on you either.
How about there?
It cuts off at like your eyebrows. But now your chest is in there. That's probably better than it. Right there, right there,
Right there? That's
right there.
good.
Don't move.
Right there.
Right there.
Okay.
Don't move.
We're still learning with the gimbal. He's like 20 feet away and he can see that. But I'm looking at the other side of the screen, obviously. So we're going to wait for it to get dark, and then we will do some more fun with the lights. I just came back to say that because I already like closed out the video, but here I am yapping again because I'm playing with my lights. So we'll let darkness fall and be back with you. Now that it's nice and dark, we will go through every single function of the lights. First one, please. That one's going to be solid amber. It's a pretty substantial output. And obviously the camera at night is not going to do it justice. Next one. That one's going to be the bright white. For the cubes. And then go ahead and turn the light bar on too. And there is the light bar in its bright white function. They are all right for bright white output. But I didn't buy them for that to begin with, so I just got them because they flash and then do cool colors. Alrighty, main light bar off, please. Next mode. That one is just going to be white and orange. About the most least exciting one, I'd say. Alrighty, next one. Ooh, that is amber flashing. I like this one too. Work truck mode. And next one. And you got white flashing. Alrighty, next one. Oh, I didn't get back quite fast enough. That is white and amber flashing. Full work truck mode. This is what it looks like from behind. And that is quite the light show. This is the main reason that I bought the cubes. And then that light bar does the RGB colors. Alrighty, turn these ones off. And the light bar go. It is currently blue. I could change it, but then I would have to disconnect it from my phone and the gimbal and all of that. So you can just take my word that it does all the colors. Good example here on when I was talking about the light output being kind of mediocre from the cubes and light bar as far as like a proper off-road perspective. These are my Morimoto HIDs and projectors in my headlights, just in the normal running mode. And they just completely blow the other lights out of the water.
We're going. Terrible lighting, by the way. Darkest.
Alrighty, so our lights are completely out at the moment. Look forward. This is through 20% windshield tint. Alright, so we are going to turn. We're going to do just the light bar to start. Look forward. That is the light bar all by itself. Go ahead and take a peek outside of the tent there. Alright, we'll come back in, we'll turn that one off. And then let's amber again. There, that's the cubes by themselves in all white. And then let those warm up a second. Those are my standard headlight bulbs. I'm gonna take a peek at those outside the tent as well. Those are Morimoto HIDs and projectors. And we will turn the light bar on with them. And then cubes again.
Kind of, sort of. I'm going.
So that will be the actual end of our video. Drop a comment and a like, and subscribe for next time.